Okay, what about inductive arguments? What does it look like when an inductive argument is valid? In an inductive argument, we only have some specific observations to go on. So, in an inductive argument, we can't guarantee anything. However, if we have a valid inductive argument, then knowing that the premises are true makes the conclusion very likely to be true. Now, notice that this definition is much less precise than the deductive one, because what does very likely mean? We're going to get a little bit more specific about what we mean by very likely and when an inductive argument is valid in our next unit when we start to talk about statistics. But have a look at this probably valid inductive argument. This inductive argument is valid. I've never seen a purple cat. That's premise one. Now, that premise by itself doesn't establish anything, because maybe I've never seen a cat at all. But premise two says, actually, I've seen a lot of cats. And inductively, I can then draw the conclusion that there's no such thing as a purple cat. The reason that we need that second premise in there is that that second premise is telling us that if there were purple cats, I probably would have seen one. But I can't be sure. The purple cats might have all been hiding from me. So this is the key difference between a deductive argument and an inductive argument. In a deductive argument, if the premises are true, the conclusion is guaranteed to be true. And that's because deductive arguments have general rules as premises. Deductive arguments have general premises. And therefore, the conclusions are just saying, well, this thing follows the general rule. In an inductive argument, if we know that all of the premises are true, then the conclusion is only probably true. It can be very probably true. We can be very confident that if there were a purple cat, I would have seen one. But it's not guaranteed. And the reason for that is that our premises in an inductive argument are specific. Maybe I've only looked at 100 cats. There's nothing that guarantees that hiding somewhere outside of those 100 cats I've actually seen, there is a purple one. So this is the key difference. A deductive argument has general conclusion. A deductive argument has general premises, and those guarantee that the conclusion is true, provided that the argument is valid. An inductive argument only has specific premises, and that only makes the conclusion probably true. Now, why do we bother with inductive arguments then? Well, because it's easier to note specific facts. In fact, there's no way that I can observe all of the cats. I can only look at individual cats one at a time. Because we can only observe specific facts, inductive reasoning is still valuable, even though it doesn't guarantee that the conclusion is true.